Hey everybody, it's Rod with the PhotoFair coming back at you with another video. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about a lens I have been jonesing for quite some time. It is the Tamron 70-150 f2.8. It's the SP soft focus lens, and I have a little soft spot, if you will, for soft focus lenses, and I've been looking to get one of these for quite a while. Kind of a rare bird, only made it for a few years. It was a low production lens for Tamron in the late 70s, early 80s. Now, just as a note, see these Tamron lenses, this is the Adaptall 2, and these lenses are easily adapted to almost any single lens reflex or mirrorless camera through the use of interchangeable mounts. And although Tamron's no longer manufacturing the mounts for this, there's a lot of them in circulation used on sites like eBay, in local camera shops, and also there's some Chinese manufacturers that are making adapters for modern cameras to go like a Sony or a Canon or a Nikon to mount directly to these as well. So you can buy a Tamron lens in any mount you want and probably find an adapter to fit your camera pretty easily. So that's true with any of the Adaptall 2 Tamrons. I have several Adaptall Tamron lenses. I've owned a bunch of them over the years. They're generally pretty good lenses and really well put together and well made. Optically, they're usually pretty good as well. And this lens is certainly no exception. So this is a 70-150. It's an f2.8. It's full frame, of course. It was designed for 35mm cameras. It's easily adaptable, like I said, to your mirrorless camera, or even to a Nikon DSLR or a Canon DSLR, or even a Pentax through the use of one of those Adaptall 2 mounts. The lens features soft focus ability. There's a little lever here, a little ring. You push the little tab and spin it around to either setting 1 or 2, and it lets you go in between as well. As you turn the ring, the soft focus effect gets stronger. If you have the soft focus off, it's just a normal 70-150 f2.8, and it's pretty sharp. I've got sample photos I'll be showing in this video. The lens performs really well as just a regular 70-150, so it's a pretty solid lens. Now, quick note about soft focus for those of you that don't follow my blog. I've talked about this a lot over the years. Soft focus is not out of focus. What they do is they create, by shifting lens elements inside the lens, they create deliberate spherical aberration. And that causes out of focus areas to get really dreamy and creamy and soft and glowy. But it maintains, when done right, it maintains reasonable sharpness on pinpoint highlights, like catch lights in the eyes on a portrait, or eyelashes or hair. So it's kind of clever the way it works, that you can have nice sharp eyes, nose, and mouth, but everything else goes into this soft, kind of dreamy, classic 1940s glamour type look. And I've always liked that look, and it's really hard to truly emulate that in Photoshop. I mean, you can do it by using masks and so on, but it's real time consuming. This lens lets you do it in camera instantly. So I kind of like that. A couple of notes about this lens. First of all, 70-150, that's on full frame. That's right in the portrait range, from a little bit on the wide side to a little bit on the long side, and everything in between. So it's ideal. f2.8 isn't, blistering speed, but it's enough to throw the background out of focus nicely, especially at the longer end, 135-150. At the shorter end, maybe not so much. But the issue with this lens really is the size and weight. You can see, I'm holding it in my hand, it's a pretty big lens. I mean, on a Sony A7, this thing's going to be like a tank. It weighs a whopping 825 grams. That's nearly 2 pounds. So this is not a backpacker's lens. This thing's a beast. I've used it on both the EOS R, which I'm filming this video with, by the way, with the 35-1.8 RF lens, testing out that focus tracking. Hey, it seems to be working. Anyway, and I've also used it with a focal reducer on my M5, which makes it an effective f2. So Pretty nice lens. It's sharp. It's built, guys, it's built like a tank. And not just the weight, but just the build quality is really good. It's a 2-touch zoom, so you zoom with this ring back here, you focus here. Speaking of the focus, the lens focus is pretty close. At 150, it's like macro close. At 70, it's modestly close. But you get nice tight headshots with this if you want, anywhere from about 120 millimeters to 150. You'll really tighten up that frame on a headshot if you want, without being right up in the grill of the person you're shooting a photo of. So that's kind of nice. It does have a macro reproduction ratio of 1 to 4. 1 to 4. So not bad. Couple of nitpicky notes about the lens. It has a built-in lens shade, but I mean, that's kind of useless. I mean, look at that thing. It's giving you maybe less than an inch of shading. That's not going to be real effective in a sunlight situation. It's a 58 millimeter or a 62. What is it? 62 millimeter filter size, so you could certainly put a deeper metal shade on there if you wanted. That's kind of, Tamron really didn't think that through with the built-in shade there. The soft focus lever is real easy to operate. There's just a little lock button here. You push that and then you just slide it over. And again, it will work in the in-between settings, so you can get it just the way you want it. Nice thing about these Tamron Adapt-All lenses is they do stop down to f32. I'm not going to use f32, but you could if you wanted to. It's there, and f32 is kind of almost a rare stop on lenses. Typically f22 or f16s as far as the lens will stop down. So it's kind of just noteworthy, kind of useless, but noteworthy nonetheless. Optically, take a look at some of these photographs. I think it performs really well in all 3 of its modes, the soft 1, soft 2, and no soft. And again, like I said, it does go in between as well. It's a multi-coated lens, good quality optics. Really, my only complaint about this lens is that it's really heavy and a little long. So with like on my M5, it's like really hanging out. On the EOS R, it's not so bad because the EOS R is a little bit bigger camera. So full frame, soft focus. You might find one of these at the PhotoFair coming up on August 24th at the Jackson Armory in Portland. Real excited about that show. There's lots of Tamron Adapt-All lenses. I almost always see guys that have them, various ones on their tables. There were very few of the Tamron lenses built in these metal bodies that weren't really good lenses. And if it's an SP lens, it's probably outstanding. They did a really, really good job, especially in that vintage of late 70s through the mid 80s. Tamron was a real player in that semi-pro and professional lens category. This is no exception to that. Street value on these, $400 to $600, so they're kind of expensive. I got this one from a guy up in Canada. It had a problem, and I was able to get it for a fair price. I think I paid him $300 or $320 for it, and then I paid $80 or $90, $100 to get it fixed. It was just the soft focus lever was stuck, and I had to get that unstuck. So, but it's worked perfectly since, and I've been pretty happy with it. I still have it, so it's a pretty cool lens. These are the kinds of things you get at PhotoFair. Old school stuff like this. You can use it on a digital camera. You can use it on a film camera. Soft focus is great on a film camera. Especially if you don't want to take your film shots and digitize them, but you actually want to make prints, maybe in the darkroom or whatnot. These old school lenses can really enhance your experience. Doesn't matter whether you're shooting a Nikon, a Canon, a Pentax, an old Minolta, you can probably find a mount for this lens and lenses like it. And you may even find them right at the PhotoFair on the 24th. So come see us at PhotoFair, Jackson Armory. We have a special guest this time, Robert Holmes, award-winning travel photographer, is giving a presentation. It's free with the price of admission. We've got Brian Asmar coming up from Southern California with all the modern stuff. He's got like Sony A7s, Nikons, Canons. He's got the L series lenses, the top-end Nikon ED lenses. He brings a lot of nice stuff. Sometimes he brings some Leicas and that sort of thing as well. So you definitely want to come up, see Brian if you're into that top grade pro level gear. We've got a manual coming. He buys equipment, so if you got some cameras you want to sell, he might buy them from you, and then you can use that money to walk around the show and pick up some other cool stuff. We got a whole bunch of people coming from Seattle that typically do the Puget Sound Photographic Collector Society show. A lot of those guys are coming down. We always appreciate having them. Lots of great vendors. We got a film guy coming down who sells film. So if you're into film, we're going to have lots of film for you to consider there. Lots of great stuff. So whether you're into the modern stuff, the digital photography, the L series Canon lenses, the Nikon lenses, the Sony lenses, we got that for you. If you're into the old stuff, old Leicas and old Canon rangefinders and all that kind of old stuff, vintage stuff, we've got that too. View cameras, 4x5, 8x10. There's guys who bring that stuff as well. There's a little bit of something for everyone at the PhotoFair. Saturday, August 24th. Doors open at 10. If you go online, you can buy an early bird ticket for a little extra cash and get in an hour early and beat the crowds, get the best deals. So anyhow, looking forward to seeing those of you that can come by Portland, August 24th at the Jackson Armory. Until the next video, we'll see you later. See you at the shows.